In a case that has sparked widespread controversy and raised questions about the integrity of the Colorado justice system, a former police officer stands accused of heinous crimes against children, including his own daughter, while his ex-wife faces jail time for attempting to protect her children from further harm. Michael Hawkins, a retired police officer from the Denver area, is currently facing serious criminal charges. He has been accused of raping his own daughter for years, with the alleged abuse beginning when she was just 5 years old. The charges against Hawkins are severe: 6 felony counts of sexually assaulting a child and 1 misdemeanor count of child abuse. These allegations extend beyond his biological children, as he is also accused of sexually assaulting his ex-wife's 2 daughters, whom he had adopted. The case took an even more disturbing turn when details emerged about an incident that allegedly occurred during a family vacation in Costa Rica in 2018. According to court documents, Hawkins is accused of holding his eldest son underwater until the boy blacked out. The son, now an adult, told investigators that he believes this assault was connected to him catching his father in the act of molesting one of his sisters. Despite the gravity of these accusations, Hawkins was released on a $50,000 bond, figure that many observers, including legal experts, have deemed surprisingly low given the nature and severity of the charges. As a condition of his release, Hawkins is required to wear a GPS ankle monitor. In a twist that has left many baffled and outraged, it is Hawkins' ex-wife, Rachel Perez Hawkins, who finds herself facing punitive action from the court system. Rachel is currently engaged in a custody battle with Hawkins over their 2 youngest sons, aged 10 and 13. Despite the serious allegations against Hawkins, he is actively fighting for sole custody of these children. Court has ordered the family to participate in a reunification therapy program, ostensibly designed to repair the children's relationship with their father. However, Rachel Perez Hawkins has vehemently opposed this decision, arguing that the therapy amounts to psychological manipulation, the coercion of her children. She has refused to allow her sons to participate in the program, a decision that has led to serious consequences. As a result of her refusal to comply with the court-ordered therapy, Rachel Perez Hawkins was found in contempt of court. The judge's punishment was severe. She was ordered to report to jail for several weekends in a row. This decision has sparked outrage among child advocates and members of the public, who view Rachel's actions as a desperate attempt to protect her children from a man accused of sexually abusing his own daughter and stepchildren. Rachel has taken to social media to document her experience and raise awareness about her situation. In a video posted on TikTok before reporting to jail for the first time, she stated, "Corruption in the justice system is punishing me for protecting my children." She went on to explain that she was beginning 7 weekends of jail in the Weekender jail program because she refused to stop protecting her children and speaking out about the abuses they have allegedly suffered. The case has shed light on the controversial practice of court-ordered reunification therapy, particularly in cases involving allegations of abuse. Critics argue that such programs can be harmful, especially when children are forced to interact with a parent they fear, or who has been accused of abuse. Rachel Perez Hawkins claims that the therapy sessions are causing harm to her children and has requested the court allow her to find a different therapist. A request, she says, has been denied. The situation is further complicated by Michael Hawkins' background as a police officer. He was one of the first responders to the Aurora movie theater shooting in 2012. Tragic event where 12 people were killed. Hawkins testified during the shooter's trial, recalling how he carried a child's body from the theater. His daughter told investigators that her father suffered from PTSD after witnessing that horrific scene. And she claimed that the first time he allegedly assaulted her was later that same year. Hawkins medically retired from the Aurora Police Department in 2018. Legal experts have weighed in on the case, expressing surprise at the relatively low bond set for Hawkins given the severity of the charges against him. Some have speculated whether his status as a former police officer may have influenced the proceedings in his favor. The contrast between Hawkins' freedom on bond and Rachel Perez Hawkins' jail sentence for contempt of court has been a particular point of contention. The case has also raised questions about the weight given to children's voices in custody proceedings. In Colorado, once children reach a certain age, they are typically allowed to have a say in parenting time and custody arrangements. However, it's unclear to what extent the children's wishes have been considered in this case. As the legal proceedings continue, the case has garnered significant public attention, with many calling for a review of how the justice system handles cases involving allegations of child abuse, particularly when the accused is a former law enforcement officer. Advocates for child protection are using this case to highlight what they see as flaws in the system, particularly the use of reunification therapy in cases where there are credible allegations of abuse. The attorney representing Hawkins in both his criminal case and divorce proceeding, Christopher Stoll, has stated that Rachel Perez Hawkins is not a credible witness and is highly manipulative. However, supporters of Rachel argue that her actions are those of a mother desperately trying to protect her children from a man accused of serious crimes against minors. As the case unfolds, it continues to raise important questions about the balance between parental rights, child protection, and the role of the justice system in family disputes. Critics argue that the current system may be prioritizing the concept of parental rights over the safety and well-being of children, particularly in cases where there are allegations of abuse. The controversy surrounding this case has also sparked a broader discussion about the treatment of abuse allegations within the family court system. Advocates for reform argue that there is often a tendency to downplay or dismiss allegations of abuse, particularly when the accused is a person of standing in the community, such as a former police officer. Legal experts have pointed out the challenges faced by family court judges in these situations. They must balance the presumption of innocence for the accused with the paramount importance of child safety. However, many argue that in cases where there are credible allegations of abuse, the safety of the children should be the primary consideration, even if it means limiting contact with a parent. The case has also highlighted the potential long-term impacts of trauma on both victims and perpetrators of abuse. Hawkins' alleged descent from decorated hero to accused child abuser, possibly influenced by PTSD from his experiences as a first responder, underscores the complex interplay between trauma, mental health, and abusive behavior. As Rachel Perez Hawkins continues to serve her weekend jail sentences, she has reported speaking with other women inside the jail who are dealing with similar issues related to court-ordered reunification therapy. This has led to calls for a broader investigation into the use of such programs, particularly in cases involving allegations of abuse. The case remains ongoing, with both the criminal proceedings against Michael Hawkins and the custody battle over the youngest children still to be resolved. Whatever the outcome, this case has already had a significant impact, sparking important conversations about child protection, the rights of accused parents, and the responsibilities of the justice system in navigating these complex and emotionally charged situations. As the public continues to follow this case, many are calling for reforms to ensure that the voices of children are heard and their safety is prioritized in custody disputes, especially when there are allegations of abuse. Advocates hope that the attention this case has received will lead to meaningful changes in how the justice system handles similar situations in the future, with the ultimate goal of better protecting vulnerable children from potential harm. The case of Michael Hawkins and Rachel Perez Hawkins serves as a stark reminder of the complexities and challenges inherent in the family court system, particularly when dealing with allegations of abuse. It underscores the need for a careful, nuanced approach that prioritizes child safety while also respecting legal rights and due process. As the legal proceedings continue, many will be watching closely, hoping for an outcome that truly serves the best interests of the children involved and potentially paves the way for systemic improvements in how such cases are handled in the future.